Thyroid disease and gallbladder problem. Are they related to each other and can one problem cause the other? Yes, but let me explain how and what are the causes of both, okay, and how you can fix it. So, if you are suffering from symptoms like, for example, floaty stools that are pale or yellow, or maybe you are suffering from frequent diarrheas, indigestion of fats, so for example, avocados, fatty meats, you can't digest it, you have some problem. You have also pain, around your abdominal area. If those are your symptoms, you may be suffering from a gallbladder problem. This is super common, guys. In hormonal disorder and especially in thyroid disease, this is very, very common. But what causes this problem in the first place? So the first one is thyroid disease itself. As I was saying, in thyroid disease, usually how it works is that your thyroid is producing the thyroid hormones, but they have to travel to your liver, and inside your liver they are actually being converted. So T4 is converted to T3. Now, what happens is that if you don't have enough of the thyroid hormones because you're suffering from a thyroid disease and your T4 levels are, for example, too low, you may not be getting enough of the conversion inside your liver, and this causes not enough production of bile. Bile is a fat emulsifier that is produced normally inside your liver. Later on, of course, this emulsifier travels to your gallbladder, and from your gallbladder it's released to your intestine, and inside the intestine it helps to digest fats, okay? So this is pretty long way. But what you have to just know and understand is that not enough of the thyroid hormone equals liver problem, equals gallbladder problem, equals not enough digestion of fats, and that's why you're suffering from the symptoms. Okay, so in order to fix it, you have to make sure that you actually optimize the levels of your thyroid hormones. So everything that we are speaking here on this channel will apply to this case. Okay, second most common cause of this gallbladder problem is actually hormonal disorder, like for example too much estrogen or too low progesterone. Okay, this kind of hormonal imbalances usually cause an estrogen dominance, which affects your liver, which then in turn affects your gallbladder, which then doesn't release enough of the bile. Okay, and the same problem happened, like you stop digesting properly fats, and that's why you're suffering from the symptoms like floaty stools, yellow stools, diarrheas, these kind of things. Okay, so if that's you, you have to make sure that you don't consume soy products. So especially for those of you who are vegetarian or vegan, stop eating soy, because soy is very estrogenic, no matter what soy. Okay, GMO, not GMO, organic, any kind of soy is estrogenic, so please stop consuming soy. And the second good tip is that if you are taking birth control pills, you may benefit from stopping them. Okay, so there are alternative methods of protection, and if you suffer from this hormonal disorder, if this gives you so much pain that you can't bear with this anymore, of course you may benefit from stopping this as well. Okay, so this is second fix for this problem. Now I would like to tell you about the third most common cause, which is a cortisol problem, so stress problem. If you are suffering from too high cortisol, too much stress, this can also affect your liver. Okay, so the same scenario pretty much, like unhealthy liver equals not enough bile produced, not enough bile also released to your gallbladder, which means this bile, which is fat emulsifier, doesn't work properly, and that's why you are not digesting fats and you have this gallbladder issue, and in addition all of these nasty symptoms. So this is another most common cause. And in order to fix it, you have to really be proactive and decrease your stress levels. So make sure to block, for example, blue light before going to bed. This really helps to sleep better and in general can decrease this high cortisol. Also, drinking teas like for example chamomile or lavender can help you. But if this doesn't help, you may benefit from supplementation, like for example our calm and sleep formula on h-boss.com is great when it comes to balancing this cortisol levels, stress, but also sleep. This improves your sleep quality. So this is a fix to this problem. Okay, so as I was saying, cortisol, and the way to fix it, you have to be proactive and take these supplements as well. Okay, another common problem that can cause this unhealthy gallbladder or a gallbladder problem, and all of the symptoms, of course, that you're suffering from, is a genetic variation, also called mutation, MTHFR. Okay, so this gene has couple variants, and if you are unlucky, genetically, like don't feel bad about it, because the fix is very simple. You just want to be aware that you are in this group that has this variant, and you want to fix it to fix your symptoms. Okay, so how can you check for this variant? This variant usually presents on your blood tests as high MCV. So MCV is a value that usually is visible on your blood test. Just check for this. High cholesterol. So if you are having cholesterol like 220, 230, this can be this genetic variant. High homocysteine and high methylmalonic acid. Okay, so these 4 lab tests, in addition also of course to low vitamin B12 inside your serum. Usually this is proper diagnosis from your blood test of MTHFR genetic variation. But if you want to be 100% sure, you can always do a genetic test, okay? But what happens if you have this variant? Well, basically this variant affects your liver. So again, if your liver doesn't work properly, this affects your gallbladder, and gallbladder doesn't, release enough bile to your intestine, and you don't digest fats properly, okay? So here we are speaking about actually liver metabolism. If you have one of these, not right variants, so genetic variation, mutation, your liver will be affected, and it will start also accumulate, cholesterol. So this is a very good test, to check for, because you don't want these increased levels of cholesterol. I mean, cholesterol is pretty healthy, but you don't want, too much of cholesterol, because this will just accumulate in your body and cause inflammation, okay? So actually inflammation is the last thing that I would like to speak about. Inflammation can also be one of the causes that can also, affect your gallbladder. Inflammation usually happens if you've been following unhealthy lifestyle, unhealthy diet, you haven't been, working out, you were going to bed too late, or maybe you've been eating, too much sugar, too much gluten, too much dairy. So in order to prevent this inflammation from happening, you want to do a couple, simple lifestyle changes. The first one is start doing intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is great because this will improve insulin sensitivity inside your body, because you don't eat frequently, but also this will help you to decrease this inflammation, inside your body. So this is tip number 1. Second tip is stop eating super frequently, because anytime you're eating, you're actually spiking your cortisol, so you're spiking your stress levels. You're also increasing a little bit your inflammation. But if you're eating, 8-9 times a day, you're snacking non-stop, you're eating lots of sugar, of course the inflammatory state inside your body will be pretty high. So you want to stick to 2, maximum 3 meals a day, okay? So usually what I do with my wife, we actually skip breakfast, and in this way we are making sure that in the morning we are, purifying our body. So this is, second tip. Third tip is that you want to take the right supplements that decrease your inflammation. So for example, ginger, turmeric, these kind of things, MSM. All of these great herbs and supplements, they help you to decrease inflammatory state in your body. This can also release, these pains that you may be having of your maybe knee or maybe back, okay? So if you're suffering from any of them, take the right supplements. We also have one anti-inflammatory formula, which is of course based on turmeric, as I was saying, it's a great herb. And you can search this formula, you can find it on h-boss.com as well. So this can also benefit you, okay? So make sure to be proactive, use intermittent fasting, use these supplements, stop sugar, stop dairy, stop these processed foods, don't eat frequently, and you should be fine, because in this way you're really decreasing the inflammation 360 degrees, okay? So those are all the causes and fixes. If you have any questions about the gallbladder issue, just let me know below this video and I will be more than happy to answer your questions. And see you in the next video, guys.